Greetings. Hello there, Guardians, Ghosts, and Gamers. Hanging out over here at Lord Shack's
Like
little.
hard, Guardian. Doesn't help you or your opponents to go easy.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, kind of, kind of really wish this was a live feed of current Crucible games, so I can at least watch them. I don't
What's
know.
going on out there?
I
Talk
wouldn't.
to me, Guardian.
It's bullshit, dude. It's pure bullshit out there. Everything's cats and dogs are just everything. It's just all.
Crucible gets harsher every day. It has to. I make sure of it.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to experience that, but I'm on a 2 month restriction again.
On your
Because
way,
my
Guardian.
because my internet sucks. Apparently, it sucks bad enough that they don't want to put me in PvP, but not bad enough that they keep me from strikes in battlegrounds and nightfalls or raids or dungeons or whatever else. Yeah, and I really do think it's Gambit, which is a shame because it's pretty obvious I liked Gambit enough that I actually ended up stumbling into the Dredgen title. I didn't really pursue it. It just kind of all came together, you know. And now we've got the chance to gild that title, and I can't do that because I'll have a month left of the season in order to do that. But I got this, and I think this is what the problem was. This is what the problem was
The
is that
archives give us
in
Gambit
the
prepares
about a dozen or so
meticulous
matches that we
information.
played, I only invaded once or twice maybe. But every time the invader would come over, at least 50-50 chance, 50% of the time I was hunting him down actively and destroying them. And I think that's just pissed him off. And I don't know. I think I got canceled. Honestly, I really do believe that's the case. But more importantly to this is that my character is having a problem with the sprint. Now, this is me at the tower, just sprinting around. But when I'm in patrol zone, well, actually, you're not really. Yeah, you can. You can sprint at the tower. Yeah, see, there you go. There's a little bit. Um, the L3 is my sprint button on this controller layout. I'm using jumper because I like being able to aim and shoot at the same time. But but yeah, and it's like I don't know. This has happened before in oh god, last like 2 years ago or so. It was like for a whole week or so. It was like
It's good to see
you
you
know,
alive,
I couldn't
Guardian.
hold a sprint.
I was
I would
wondering.
start sprinting, and then my character would go to a stroll, and then he would go sprinting again, and he'd go to a stroll, and it's only in Destiny, because I have the L3 sprint button also for Conan Exiles and for Elder Scrolls Online, and I don't have problems with them. I can maintain a sprint in both those games pretty easily. So it's not my controller. That much I know. I've already troubleshot the controller too to begin with. So I think it's a part. I think it's a part of the constant lag that I'm getting in the game, and which is really ridiculous because I'm like 10 to well, I would say as the crow flies, 30 feet away from the other console that we have in the house that plays Destiny, and that's in the front room, which is less than 10 feet away from the actual Wi-Fi. Yes, I could probably go off and buy myself a 100-foot Belkin cable and string it through the house to play to my console. More than likely, I could probably move my console into the front room, but I do all of my working and crafting back here at the back of the house. This is where I like to have my console and my TV so that while I'm waiting for glue and paint to dry, or clients to get back to me about what they want done, um, I can fart around on the console, or I can play YouTube's, or I can load up HBO Max or something like that, and just kind of like sit back and have this screen running in the background for me while I'm working, and then when I take breaks, instantly just pop in the Destiny and go for it. Um, and that's the other thing too is that I've decided to limit my sessions to no more than about an hour at a time. Now this is post hour, obviously. I'm not going to count bookkeeping, as I will call it, wherein I go through my Guardian's uh, resources and identify weak points and do other fun things. That is actually pretty good. I should probably do that. I'm still working on this triumph here. I'm actually pursuing the seasonal triumph, believe it or not, because there's not much else that I will want to do. Um, I can't do any Gambit, Crucible, or Triumph fucked, and I'm going to be missing 2 Iron Banners, which is like the one thing I like the most out of Crucible, is the Iron Banner, and it's just, I'm really kind of sad about that. But anyway, yeah. So going to be living in this seasonal armor for a while, which is not a big deal. I'm almost done with this one, but that's 3 of 4. So God only knows what the next is going to be. Collect season of the chosen mods. I'm already 2/3 of the way through that, and so that's kind of cool. But yeah, this is going to take a while. I mean, technically not really, but the way I'm playing and the fact that I'm taking my time, like I always do. I really do pretty much take my time in the game. I don't like rushing to power levels. I don't think reaching power cap means much of anything outside of doing things like trials or Iron Banner or raids, because you will get battle leveled and everything else. Um, like for instance the Dead Man's Tale, you can be over the power recommendation, but you're not going to get more than a 10 level benefit no matter how high up you go, because it's always challenge
You
mode.
don't look too
And
banged
that's the way
up.
Bungie likes to do it. This is to encourage people to bring in allies, because they don't want your Guardians going it alone. And then I'll tell you why they don't want that. Why they don't like us playing by ourselves, because it's a peer-to-peer network connection. And when they've got to struggle trying to match you geographically with somebody who's going to have a decent connection as well, it becomes that problem. And that problem is that
Wait,
you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and you're lagged out all the time. And like for instance, I used to think that I've had for a long time this running theory. I used to think that this meant that these are the people that you were connected to in the peer-to-peer architecture. My son has pointed out, though, that this just means that you can join them because they're either friends or family, or they are not involved in an activity. For instance, Gen X lady probably really does have it set to invite or clans and friends only, or just closed. These people are actually open fire teams because they're looking for people to join them. Now, this is obviously a trials player, and there would be no point in me playing with them because I can't play trials. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, my connection is pretty strong here at the tower, and typically it is. Even though I get a full white bar, it'll still say down there at the bottom, contacting Destiny servers. And what that's really meaning is that you're not losing connection to the. There, see, I can't sprint. I tried to sprint up the. I tried to sprint and I couldn't. See there, look at that lag. Look at that. Look at that. I have my stick down and full the way forward. That's not supposed to. That is just. Yeah, and that's like, it's been like this since I got my restrictions. So I don't know what it is that's going on. It must be something bugging out in the code as always. The game has got so many bugs, and I do point my finger at the peer-to-peer connection model. I think that if they went with dedicated servers and just had players pony up a $5 subscription a month to maintain it, I would totally play this game enough that I would totally pay for a dedicated server if it meant I didn't have to get restrictions anymore, and if it meant that I didn't have to deal with cheaters anymore. Because on a dedicated server, I believe, well, no, I don't believe. I have talked with people who know enough about this to know more than I know, obviously. Um, and everyone that I've talked to about it has always said, yeah, on a dedicated. And let's see, is my connection dropped? No, see, perfect. That's what that's supposed to mean, right? That's what I was told. But yeah. So it's like, I know on a dedicated server you'd probably have a whole lot easier chance spotting and eliminating cheaters. With peer-to-peer, without geo-filtering, it's going to be kind of difficult because you got people using VPNs who are pretending to be North American West Coasters like myself, and they may in fact actually be playing out of, oh, I don't know, somewhere in Europe or Asia. It doesn't really matter because it's a long ass distance fucking connection. And I don't care what Elon Musk says. You could daisy chain satellites all over the globe. Being 2 continents and an ocean away is 2 continents and an ocean away, no matter what. I mean, even the speed of light is not instantaneous, and that's what you kind of want in a game scenario. You want as instantaneous a reaction as possible. They should have fixed this by now. I mean, what the fuck is this lazy shit? Gods. Yeah, keeping it around as a memorial, a reminder. I mean, it doesn't make sense to do so.
This is taking forever.
It's ridiculous.
I like to watch the
Ridiculous. I want to see what's inside. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. Whatever. So yeah, then this is specifically to Bungie Help. They're just letting you know that I don't know if anybody else is complaining about it or brought it up, but there is a problem going on with the sprinting in the game. That it's dragging things down, and the Dead Man's Tale requires some sprinting and jumping, and if I can't count on my character being able to run forward and slide or sprint or jump, then I'm not going to have much of a chance, doing any raids or Nightfall Masters or Legendaries, that is, or anything else, because I mean I picked a hunter because of the mobility, and now that mobility, that characteristic that makes the hunter fun to play for me is being taken away, and I know it's not going to be this. I know it'll be the same on the Titan or the Warlock, and that I don't really play the Titan or the Warlock. I don't like them. It's a big ball. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Traveler could heal itself, but it didn't repair the damage underneath it. That's the spot where Rasputin shot the fuck out of it, though, so that's kind of interesting. And then the darkness fucking shuts Rasputin down. I'm like, yeah, I should have been happy. He was on your side for the most part. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for stopping by.